Call on the senators. Honorable Senators, as we recall on Thursday, April 2025, the Senate considered and passed a resolution to extend the term of the selection panel for the recruitment of persons for appointment as chairperson and members of the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission (IBC) by a period of 14 days from 28 April 2025. The Senate became seized of this matter following a request by the chairperson of the selection panel to the Parliamentary Service Commission. The Commission subsequently deliberated on the matter and resolved to recommend to the Houses of Parliament that the panel's tenure be extended by 14 days, pursuant to paragraph 6(2) of the first edition of the IBC Act, in order to enable the panel to finalize the recruitment process. The Senate's decision has since been communicated to both the National Assembly and the Parliamentary Service Commission. I thank you. Honorable Senators, before we proceed to the next order, number 4, I want to make the following communication. Senator Chelgei, Senator Boni, Senator Chute, and Senator Abbas. Senator Abbas. Honorable Senators, I have this communication to make on substantiation of facts as Senator alleges to be true that it concerns Senator Samson Chelagei, MP. As you may recall, Honorable Senators, at the sitting of the Senate held on Thursday, April 2025, the temporary Speaker, Senator Catherine Muma, MP, directed Senator Samson Chelagei, MP, to substantiate utterances made in the course of his contribution to the motion on extension of time of the selection panel for the recruitment of nominees for appointment as the chairperson and members of the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission. The direction was as a result of a point of order by the Senator for Kitui County, Senator Enoch Wambua, CBS, MP, pursuant to Standing Order 105. Standing Order 105 provides that 1. A senator shall be responsible for the accuracy of any facts that the senator alleges to be true and may be required to substantiate any such facts instantly. And 2, if a senator has sufficient reason to convince the Speaker that the senator is unable to substantiate the allegations instantly, the Speaker shall require that such senator substantiates the allegations not later than the next sitting day, failure to which the senator shall be deemed to be disorderly within the meaning of Standing Order 121, which is disorderly conduct. Unless the senator withdraws the allegations and gives a suitable apology if the Speaker so requires. Honorable Senators, in the point of order, Senator Chelagei, MP, was required to substantiate the statement that I open the quotes. With tremendous respect, I will not mention the name. I saw is under objecting the process. Why is it that opponents of President William Ruto fear having the IMBC in place? It is because they fear elections. They must allow it to happen. Honorable Senators, for the first time when the chair or Senator Professor Ogenda, this is the last warning I'm giving this House. When the chair is upstanding and leading a communication, you must keep quiet. You can see those two gracious ladies there are consulting. This is a very unbecoming behavior in this House. When the chair is communicating to the members, you should just listen. So you absorb the message. Honorable Senators, Senator Chalagay MP was not able to substantiate his statements as required pursuant to Standing Order 105.1 and subsequently requested the temporary Speaker, Senator Catherine Mua MP, to provide the evidence at the next sitting day in accordance with Standing Order 105.2. Having acceded to the request, the temporary Speaker directed that the Senator substantiates the allegation at the next sitting day. Pursuant to Standing Order 105.2, I now invite Senator Samson Chalagay MP to forthwith substantiate the claim as raised in the point of order by Senator Enoch Wambua MP, failure to which the Senator shall be deemed to be disorderly within the meaning of Standing Order 121. In the absence of such substantiation, the Senator will be required to withdraw the statement and apologize to the Senate. Thank you. Senator Chalagay.
Mr. Speaker, I don't know why I'm apologizing to since Senator Wambua is not here. Mr. Speaker, I need your guidance so that I know why I'm apologizing to since Senator Wambua is not here.
Whatever you are doing is the consumption of the Senate.
Mr. Speaker,
the Senate is properly constituted.
Secondly, Mr. Speaker, I had apologized. It is on record. I remember Senator Sifuna and Senator Wambua rose on this point of order. If you can check your answer, I have already apologized and withdrawn, Mr. Speaker. Even the Senator Majority Leader was there. So kindly, Mr. Speaker. Even the Senate Minority Leader was there. You know I'm an altar boy, Mr. Speaker, sir.
But if you did, why then do you have a problem? Because the communication is here with the Senate.
Mr. Speaker, for the comfort
just proceed
of my detractors, yes. I want to repeat and apologize 1,000 and 1,000,000 times and withdraw time is 10 million times, Mr. Speaker, so that the House can move. I apologize and withdraw.
That's good. That's being a gentleman enough. Yes, so let's proceed to the next order.
Order number 4, petitions.
Next order.
Order number 5, papers.
Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Next order.
Order number 7, questions and statements.
Okay. Yes, we have statements understanding under 53.1. We start with the Senator for Kisumu County.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Health regarding the response to the recent outbreaks of malaria and other diseases in Kisumu County. Mr. Speaker, Kisumu County, being in the Lake region, is highly prone to malaria outbreaks, which continues to pose a serious health risk to residents. Additionally, cases of other diseases, including cholera and typhoid, have been reported in various parts of the county, raising concerns over public health preparedness and response mechanisms. Despite efforts to curb these diseases, Mr. Speaker, many residents, especially in informal settlements and rural areas, still face difficulties accessing adequate prevention and treatment services. In the statement, the committee should address the following, Mr. Speaker. 1, the level of funding allocated to disease control programs in Kisumu County and provide details on how these funds have been utilized. 2, the prevalence of the recent outbreak of malaria and other diseases in Kisumu County, including the number of reported cases and fatalities in the past. 3, the interventions in place to combat malaria, including the distribution of insecticide-treated mosquito nets, indoor residual spraying, and access to anti-malarial drugs. 4, the measures taken to prevent and contain the outbreak of waterborne diseases such as cholera and typhoid, including improvements in sanitation and access to clean water. 5, the availability of medical personnel, drugs, and test kits in public health facilities to ensure timely diagnosis and treatment of malaria and other infectious diseases. The partnership between the national and county governments, as well as the donor agencies in enhancing disease prevention and response strategies in Kisumu County. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, my second statement is on the state of Kenya's blood storage infrastructure. Mr. Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53.1 to seek a statement to Standing Committee on Health regarding the state of Kenya's blood storage infrastructure, which continues to undermine the effectiveness of our healthcare system despite the ongoing intervention. Mr. Speaker, while Kenya has made strides in blood collection, the real crisis lies in our inadequate storage capacity, which has rendered many blood donation efforts futile. The Kenya Tissue and Transplant Authority, KTTA, reports that although blood collection has improved, our national cold storage can only hold 65,000 units, far below the demand required to sustain emergency response and life-saving procedures. Kenya has seen a marked increase in blood banks, from 35 to 45, yet the infrastructure remains overstretched, and hospitals across the country continue to grapple with erratic blood supply. Collected blood is going to waste due to inadequate preservation facilities, while some counties, including Kisumu, lack sufficient storage and distribution systems to ensure timely access to blood when needed. This failure to expand storage capacity in tandem with collection efforts is putting lives at risk, Mr. Speaker, particularly for accident victims, surgical patients, and mothers in maternity wards. Mr. Speaker, the blood should not be a scarce resource simply because we lack the capacity to store it. Kenya cannot afford to lose lives due to logistic failures when solutions exist and people are willing to donate. In the statement, the committee should, 1, address the comprehensive assessment of the current blood storage analyze the comprehensive assessment of the current blood storage infrastructure across all counties, highlighting any disparities in identifying regions and most affected by storage limitations. 2, study the steps taken to address storage limitations, particularly how funds allocated to improve cold chain facilities have been utilized, as well as the government strategy to modernize and expand blood storage facilities to ensure collected units are properly preserved and accessible when needed. 3, the measures in place to ensure that increased storage capacity translates to improved blood availability, particularly in rural and undeserved areas. Lastly, the role of county governments in ensuring sustainability and efficiency of blood storage infrastructure within their region. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Next is Senator, Honour Senators. Senator Samson Chelege, you have two statements.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Request for statement on the discrimination of school-going children based on age in school sports competition. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53.1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Education regarding the discrimination, and I wish, Mr. Speaker, the Chair of Education should be listening. Senator Montet should be listening, of school-going children aged above 19 years in high school and above 14 years in primary school from participating in school sports competition. Mr. Speaker, sir, Section 17, Roman 3 of the Kenya Secondary School Sports Association Constitution prohibits students who exceed the age limit of 19 years from participating in regional and international sports competition. Similarly, the Kenya Primary School Sports Association imposes age restrictions that unfairly exclude certain learners from full participation in school sports. These restrictions, if not removed, will continue to deny students equal opportunities in sports, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, sir, this matter was contested in High Court in Mombasa through petition number 65 of 2017, and a judgment was delivered by Judge E.K. Ogola on 9th May 2019, declaring Section 17, Roman 3 of Kenya Secondary Schools Association Constitution unconstitutional and invalid. However, despite this definitive court decision, the Kenya Secondary School Sports Association continues to enforce the annulled provision, thereby violating the Constitution and acting in contempt of court. Mr. Speaker, sir, in the statement, the committee should address the following: the reasons for the continued enforcement of Section 17, Roman 3 of Kenya Secondary School Sports Association Constitution, despite its annulment by the High Court. Number 2, Mr. Speaker, sir, the status of compliance with the court ruling and the immediate actions being taken by the Ministry of Education against the officials of Kenya Secondary Schools Sports Association and Kenya Primary Schools Sports Association who continue to disregard this ruling. And finally, Mr. Speaker, sir, measures being implemented by the Ministry of Education to ensure that the junior secondary schools, JSS learners, participate in sports without discrimination based on their age, considering that learners are domiciled in primary school as per the implementation of CBC. I thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. With your indulgence, I move to my second statement, Mr. Speaker, sir. Request for statement on demolitions in Kapsabet town in Nandi County. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Tourism, Trade and Industrialization regarding the demolitions of small-scale structures and stalls of Mamamboga in Kapsabet town in Nandi County. Mr. Speaker, in the statement, the committee should address the following: the circumstances that led the Nandi County government to carry out demolitions of small-scale trader stalls in Kapsabet town without prior notice, despite traders having already paid for their 2025 trading licenses for the affected premises to the Nandi County government. Number 3, Mr. Speaker, sir, the reasons for the relocation of traders to a new market that lacks basic amenities such as toilets. And Mr. Speaker, for the information of the House, I have visited that market, and you find women do not have access to toilets and other utilities. Mr. Speaker, number 3, number of traders impacted by the demolition and the extent of financial losses incurred by each trader and its plan for compensation. Mr. Speaker, sir, number 4, rationale behind the demolition of Namgoi Trading Center in Nandi County, given that no alternative location was provided for the displaced traders at Namgoi Shopping Center, Mr. Speaker. And finally, the measures in place by the county government to compensate traders for the loss of businesses resulting from relocation, demolition from Kapsabet CBD town, and also from Namgoi Junction demolitions. I thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Next is Senator Ome Omatinga.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, sir. Let's pursuant to the Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Land, Environment and Natural Resources regarding the status of land belonging to Kenya Veterinary Fascination Production Institute, Kivevapi, which was transferred to private entities in Nairobi and Kiambu County. In the statement, the committee should address the following. 1, the circumstances under which land belonging to Kivevapi in Nairobi and Kiambu counties was alienated, registered under private ownership, including any administrative or legal lapses that allowed the transfer to occur. 2, the specific steps that, if any, taken by the Office of the Attorney General to protect Kivevapi's interest and to challenge or prevent the transfer of land from a public to a private entity. 3, clarification of the National Land Commission on how the land was excised and registered to a private property, and the collective actions being undertaken to ensure that the land is reverted to Kivevapi. 4, a report on all concluded and pending court cases related to the land in question, including the legal status of each case and associated legal costs. 5, plans by the Ministry of Agriculture, Livestock and Fisheries indicating how and when it intends to settle the legal fees incurred by Kevevapi in defending these land cases, and whether any policy reforms are underway to safeguard the institution land in future. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Next is Senator Abbas Mohammed.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 531 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee of Health regarding the alarming increase of cancer cases in Wajir County, and it is possible to link the allegation of nuclear waste dumping in northern Kenya. Honorable Speaker, in the statement, the committee should address the following: the statistical data on the number of reported cancer cases in Wajir County from 2014 to date, including a breakdown by the type of cancer, age, gender, and other demographic factors. Whether the Ministry of Health or any other relevant state agencies have conducted epidemiological and environmental studies to establish possible causes of the rising cancer cases in Wajir County, whether radioactive or other hazardous waste may have been illegally dumped in the parts of northern Kenya. The investigations carried out by the National Environmental Management Authority, the Kenya Nuclear Regulatory Authority, or in other relevant bodies to ascertain the presence of nuclear or toxic waste in the northeastern part of Kenya, specifically in Wajir, Mandera, Garissa, Marsabit, and Selo, counties in the potential area risks posed to be local communities. The measures the national government and county governments are undertaking to address the rising cancer cases in Wajir County, where the government intends to conduct a comprehensive environmental audit to determine the presence of hazardous waste in northern Kenya, and if confirmed, the steps that will be taken to remediate the affected areas. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Next is the Senator for Isiolo County, Senator Fatuma Nduro.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on National Security, Defense and Foreign Relations concerning the rising insecurity in Isiolo County. Mr. Speaker, Isiolo County has witnessed a worrying escalation in violence, including rampant cattle rustling, killings, and increased lawlessness. These attacks have left children orphaned, women widowed, and entire communities living in fear. Most recently, on 26 March 2025, Mr. Nicholas Lorot, member of Isiolo County Assembly for Burat Ward, was shot in a shocking incident that has further underscored the urgent need for robust government intervention. In the statement, the committee should address the following: the progress of the police investigation into the shooting of Honorable Nicholas, including any leads, arrests, and efforts to ensure justice is served, the measures being taken to stem the proliferation of illegal firearms in Isiolo County, and steps to disarm and disband armed criminal elements. Number 3, interventions in place to combat drug abuse, particularly among the youths, which has been linked to rising insecurity in the region. 4, the reported cases of cattle rustling in the past 6 months, including the number of livestock stolen, casualties recorded, and recovery efforts undertaken by security agencies. And finally, the government's plan to enhance security presence in Isiolo, including a long-term strategy to restore lasting peace and stability through a comprehensive security sector overhaul. I thank you.
Next is Senator Nichando Nyonka. That statement is dropped. Next is Senator Minda Kibwana. She requested that a statement be read by Senator Tabitha Mutinda, who equally is not in the House. So the statement is dropped. Next, I want to give a few senators to make their comments, but my screen is disabled. Who can come to my rescue? Yeah, we have 20 minutes. 20 minutes to make comments and restrict them to 2 minutes each. Senator Esther Okenyuri.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to support the statement by Senator Professor Tom Ojenda on outbreaks of malaria in Kisumu County. That statement actually brings to the brings our attention to the issue on response on general outbreaks of diseases in this country, Mr. Speaker. So I would wish that the committee that would be looking into that, it's not just affecting Kisumu County, but many other counties which are having such challenges, just like the statement that was sought here some time back by the Wajir senator and the Mandera senator also. Mr. Speaker, I want to support the statement by Senator Cherargei on the demolition of market stalls of small-scale traders in Nandi, Mr. Speaker. I have the street vendors bill that seeks to protect the livelihoods of such traders, Mr. Speaker. So when you destroy property that is owed by these people and they have incurred millions of losses, Mr. Speaker, where do we intend to take those people? Are we giving them alternative sources of income with the current economy that we have, Mr. Speaker? It's very sad that we are experiencing that in this time, Mr. Speaker, when we want to protect livelihoods by small traders who contribute effectively to this economy. And it is not just Nandi County. This is a disease affecting the 47 county government, Mr. Speaker. I would wish that the county government find amicable ways of dealing with small-scale traders because they are equal shareholders of this country. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Daniel Maanzo Kitonga.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I also arise to support Senator Cherargei. Mr. Speaker, there is a cardinal rule when you want to do demolitions. One, you have to give notice and possibly engage the citizens with their businesses because they have invested. And more important, before you demolish, I think county government or even national government has a mechanism to make sure these people understand what is happening. The best thing is even to identify alternative land for them in good time, so that if it is a road, is a road bypass or is a road reserve, there is a proper discussion. And in the first place, counties do not even allow any construction without approvals. So at approval level, you should be able to deny, other than approving people, they build, they put their businesses, and those stocks, Mr. Speaker, are huge. And then all of a sudden you demolish. That's how you promote crime in the country, impunity and nastiness within people. And that's how you end up now with, like the question from Isiolo, a lot of violence and lawlessness because people are hopeless. They have no way of earning. And there is a growing population, Mr. Speaker, which needs to be safeguarded. So let the small business people be protected. That should be the main theme of the country. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Fohembu, Senator Mudigi Alexander.
Asanti Bwana Speaker, naunga mkono statement ambaye ni ya Senator wa Nyeri, Commissioner Senator wa Matinga kuhusu masamba ya Kevevapi. Mimi ni mwenyekiti mdogo wa kamati wa agriculture. Bwana Speaker, ningeomba vile kamati inaweza kuwa itawekwa nguvu iweze kuchunguza ama kuangalia vile mambo ya masamba inaleta shinda. Kwa sababu sio mambo ya Kevevapi peke yake, ni katika Kenya mzima. Wale matajiri wako na hela mingi, imekuwa na shinda kila pahali wakipitia, wakiona shamba aidha ni ya serikali ama ni ya kina wazee ama ni ya familia ambaye ainjiwezi, unakuta masamba inaleta shinda. Hata unakuta Bwana Speaker isunguzwe. Hapa unaona kama kamati ambaye ni ya National Land Commission haifanyi kazi kulingana vile inafaa, kwa sababu unakuta kama koti iliamurisha shamba ni ya Kevevapi, unakuta naye Kenya Land Commission inasema hiyo mambo haifai. Sasa kumekuwa Kenya mzima kuna mvurutano ya hapa na pale. Ningeomba Bwana Spika kuangaliwe kama kuna sheria itatengenezwa ambaye itaruhusu masamba ya serikali ule yeyote ataweza kuifahamia kama atakuwa ametumia pesa yake pale, iweze kupelekwa kotini na iweze kufungwa maisha. Kwa hiyo Bwana Spika, kumetaabika sana kwa sababu mambo ya mashamba katika Kenya mzima imeleta shinda. Kwa hivyo Bwana Spika, naunga mkono ile mjadala ambaye kuhusu masamba ya Kevevapi. Na pia mnajua Kevevapi ni mambo ya agriculture ambayo wanaangalia vile mimea inakaa na vitu nyingi, na kwa hivyo unakuta masamba yao inaendelea kusukuliwa na wale matajiri. Kwa hivyo Bwana Spika, naunga mkono.
Senator Ososi Gonfrey.
Mr. Speaker, let me also support the statement by Senator Cheregei on demolition of stalls and shops by small traders. Mr. Speaker, this is a very serious issue, and I want to encourage the Committee of Trade and Industrialization not just to look at Nandi County alone, but also consider all the other counties, 47 counties, because this problem is spread in all the 47 counties. Mr. Speaker, we also need to investigate the conflict between national government and the county government in regards to issues of markets, because we have seen that some of these demolitions are arising because of a lack of clear communication between the two levels of government. I remember, Mr. Speaker, when the national government wanted to launch a market in a place called Luanda in Vihiga, the county government was not aware, and they came and just demolished stalls there, and clearly you could see there is a lack of communication between the two arms of government. Mr. Speaker, even as we talk about demolition of stalls, we have a serious issue regarding the management of markets in this country, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this Senate should not allow national government to take over the issues of management of markets in this country. It is very clear, Mr. Speaker, markets actually belong to county governments. How did we allow national government
majority Rinda? Oh, sorry. Next time, Senator Ososi, don't say, give me 1 minute. That is why I've denied you. Next time, Senator Majority.
Mr. Speaker, I just wanted to comment on this issue of Kevevapi, a very important institution that on many occasions, Mr. Speaker, people don't appreciate its value to the country. If it is true that there are parcels of land belonging to these institutions that have been transferred to public land, then to private hands, Mr. Speaker, then this House must sanction the right authorities. It must be known who they are, Mr. Speaker, for what interest, and those titles must be cancelled, and that institution must get back that which is rightfully its own. Mr. Speaker, there are many public institutions that continue to lose public property at the hands of unscrupulous dealers and people, land cartels, Mr. Speaker, over the years. I went to, for example, Mr. Speaker, my own county referral hospital last month, and to my utter shock, I realized that they don't have even a copy of their title. I have since written to the Minister for Lands and the PS, who have assured me that they are processing it, because even them at the national government, they didn't have those records. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, this is a conversation that we must have as a House on title deeds to public institutions, Mr. Speaker. Otherwise, with this increasing population and the demand for land, Mr. Speaker, many public institutions will lose out on their land, and we must do something about it. Therefore, I hope that this statement will not just be about Kevevapi, but
we have similar problem in Can you please protect me against this guy? Thank you. So, Honorable Speaker, the issue of cancer, Honorable Speaker, is in Marsabit, Wajir, and Mandera areas. So, Honorable Speaker, this is something that the committee should even visit Marsabit, Wajir, and Mandera, and even Samburu, Isiolo also. No. So that is something that we need to have the committee visit. This guy is distracting me. So basically, Honorable Speaker, I would wish the committee should visit Marsabit, Wajir, and Mandera. On the issue of Kevevapi, Honorable Speaker, Kevevapi have lost acres and acres of land. And they are very soon going to lose even Kevevapi itself. There are Indians, Asians coming from India, they want to take over Kevevapi. Don't even worry about the land. The biggest worry, they want to, similar Adani issue is being, they are trying to take over Kevevapi. So, Honorable Speaker, the committee should even go further and even start investigating.
I think you have been heard sufficiently. Senator Veronica.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. First of all, I want to support the statement brought to this House by Senator Cherargei from Nandi County on the exclusion of girls from certain sports or restriction based on age. Honorable Speaker, first of all, gender equality is a constitutional right. And under Article 27 of our Constitution, that article speaks into the issues of both male and female being treated equally and being given and being accorded opportunities in whatever sphere equally without any form of discrimination based on age or based on sex or based on gender. And hence, Honorable Speaker, any policy that is being sent to JSS or being sent to the schools to discriminate girls from certain sports or discriminate certain students based on age, Honorable Speaker, would then amount to a breach or a violation of Article 27.3 and Article 27.4. In fact, Honorable Speaker, the state is enjoined to ensure that they design strategies to ensure that any disadvantages that are being faced by either boys or girls should be addressed and should be removed. Those disadvantages, strategies must be taken to remove those disadvantages to ensure there is equality of treatment on both boys and girls, Honorable Speaker. So it's very sad to hear that schools or even systems of schools could be planning sports with exclusion to the girl child, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the Sports Act is also aimed at sports development, Honorable Speaker. Sports development for both girls and boys, to help in mental health issues, to help in physical health.
That's the end of the statement, the 20 minutes that are allocated. So we go to the next order now.
Order number 8, motion. Report of the Standing Committee on Energy, on its inquiry into the liquefied petroleum gas LPG explosion in Mradi area, Embakasi, Nairobi City County.
Honorable Senators, I want first to ascertain that this matter does not affect counties. And number two, I want to confirm that we have quorum to put the question. Honorable Senators, I put the question that the Senate adopts the report of the Standing Committee on Energy on its inquiry into the liquefied petroleum gas LPG explosion in Mulandi area, Embakasi, Nairobi City County, laid on the table of the Senate on Thursday, 8 August 2024. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as the ayes have it. Next on. Yeah, we have, we can go to the next. Next order.
Order number 9, the Statutory Instruments Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 10 of 2024, second reading, division.
Honorable Senators, we are going to division on order number 9. Therefore, Senator Terms ring the quorum bell, division bell for 5 minutes.
The division bell is on the ring mode at the Senate this afternoon after the Deputy Speaker of the House directed that the division bell be rung for 5 minutes. These 5 minutes is for the whip to marshal our senators back into the chamber, those who could probably have stepped out, to allow the House to vote on the report of the Mediation Committee on the Conflict of Interest Bill, this being National Assembly Bills number 12. The quorum bell is on ring mode, and the House will be voting shortly on the Statutory Instruments Amendment Bill. This is a bill number 10 of the year 2024, sponsored by the leader of the majority party and the minority party. The debate on this bill has already been concluded upon, and what remains is for the House to vote on the Statutory Instruments Bill. This is a bill that is seeking to amend the already existing act And the debate on this bill has already been concluded upon. And what awaits the House is a vote on it. It is a bill that is seeking to amend the provisions of the Statutory Instruments Act of 2013 to streamline it with the provisions of the Constitution to ensure that the application of its provisions have been achieved. A look at this bill, the Statutory Instruments Amendment Bill, a bill sponsored by both sides of the House. Its objective is to amend the provisions of the Statutory Instruments Act of 2013 to streamline it with the provisions of the Constitution to ensure better application of its provisions. It is a bill with a number of clauses, 9 clauses in total. And let's now have a look at some of the clauses and what they provide for. And clause number 2 seeks to amend Section 11 of the Act to enable the Committee on Delegated Legislation to require the regulation-making authority to submit to Parliament a copy of any regulation that ceases to have effect by operation of the law. The amendment further obligates Parliament to notify the general public in 2 newspapers of wide circulation that a statutory instrument which ceases to have effect by operation of law is now a nullity. Clause number 4 of the bill seeks to amend Section 14 of the Act to provide that where the committee recommends an exemption of any statutory instruments from scrutiny, then the exemption may only be done subject to the approval of the House. Clause 5 is seeking to amend Section 19 of the Act to harmonize the wording of the law, specifying the actions taken by Parliament as an annulment and by deleting the word revoke.
Again, link the division bell for another 5 minutes.
There is a further extension of 5 minutes, a division bell, for the whip to get the numbers to vote on this bill, the Statutory Instruments Amendment Bill, a bill from the Senate, Bill number 10 of the year 2024. A further look at the bill is seeking to amend Section 21 of the Act to remove the mandatory requirement for the review of subsidiary legislation and the expiration of the statutory instruments. Clause number 8 of the bill is seeking to amend Section 24 of the Act. This is an Act of 2013, which this bill is seeking to amend to increase the limit of fines and the term of imprisonment in order for the law to act as an adequate deterrent for the violation or breach of the regulations. Clause 9, which is the last clause of the bill, seeks to amend Section 27 of the Act of 2013 to provide for savings provision, allowing for the continuous operation of regulations that were the operation on or before the 24th of January 2024. Statement on the delegation of legislative powers and limitation of the fundamental right of freedom. The bill delegates legislative powers to the relevant House committee. This is as per Section 12 of the Statutory Instruments Act of 2013 and does not limit the fundamental rights of freedom. Statement on the bill not being a money bill within the meaning of Article 114 of the Constitution. The enactment of the Statutory Instruments Bill does not occasion an expenditure on the public funds. This is a bill that is seeking to amend the existing Act on the Statutory Instruments. The debate on this bill has already been concluded upon, and what remains is for the vote to be taken by the House. The subject terms will shortly be drawing the bars and closing the doors for the House to undertake the vote on the statutory instruments bill. The law requires that every cabinet secretary responsible for regulation making authority shall within 7 days, sitting days after the publication of the statutory instrument, ensure that a copy of the statutory instrument is transmitted to the responsible clerk for tabling before the relevant houses of parliament. Notwithstanding the submission within the 7 days and pursuant to the legislative powers conferred on the National Assembly under Article 109 of the Constitution, all regulation-making authorities shall submit copies of all the statutory instruments for tabling before the National Assembly. The responsible clerk shall register or cause the registered or cause to be registered every statutory instrument transmitted to the respective house for tabling and laying. And if a copy of the statutory instrument that is required to be laid before the relevant House of Parliament is not laid, this is in accordance with the section, the statutory instrument shall cease to have effect immediately after the last day for it to be so laid, but without prejudice to any act done under the statutory instrument before becoming void. Allow me to hand over back to the chamber.
Honourable Senators, Honourable Senators. Honourable Senators. I will now request that the doors be locked and the band drawn. Honourable Senators, can you resume your seats now? Senator Abbas. Honourable Senators, I Senators, you are voting electronically, so I request you log out. And Sergeant at times you check out the cans on the delegate units. Can you log in, Honourable Senators? Is it? Let's now proceed to vote. Senator Abbas. Senator Abbas, Senator Mazayo. Senator Abbas. Honorable Senators, the results of the division, ayes 29, nays 0, abstention 0. The ayes have it.
A bill for an act of parliament to amend the Statutory Instruments Act to provide for the timelines within which statutory instruments shall be made and for connected purposes.
Next order.
Order number 10, motion. Report of the Mediation Committee on the Conflict of Interest Bill, National Assembly Bills number 12 of 2023, division.
Therefore, Senators, to put the question that the Senate adopts the report of the Mediation Committee on the Conflict of Interest Bill, National Assembly Bills number 12 of 2023, laid on the table of the Senate on Thursday, 5th December 2024, and further that pursuant to Article 113(2) of the Constitution and the Standing Order 167(3) of the Senate, approves the amended version of the bill. Still, we are voting electronically. You can proceed and vote because you are already logged in. Senator Wakoli David approach the table. Senator Mazayo. Honorable Senators, want to give you the results of the division. Ayes, Senator Mudigi. Ayes 29, nays 0, abstention 0. The ayes have it. Clerk, you can now call out because all these committees of the whole from order number 11 all the way to order number 17.
Order number 11, Committee of the Whole. The Energy Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 42 of 2023, Division. Order number 12, Committee of the Whole. Consideration of the National Assembly amendments to the Persons with Disabilities Bill, Senate Bills number 7 of 2023. Order number 13, Committee of the Whole. The County Public Finance Laws Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 39 of 2023. Order number 14, Committee of the Whole. The County Assembly Services Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 34 of 2023. Order number 15, Committee of the Whole. the County Assembly's Pension Scheme Bill, Senate Bills number 14 of 2024. Order number 16, Committee of the Whole. The National Disaster Risk Management Bill, National Assembly Bills number 24 of 2023. Order number 17, Committee of the Whole. The Land Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bills number 40 of 2022.
I think they did it independently. I hope the doors are open. Withdraw the bar and open the doors.
Sasa jalango imefunguliwa. The other one started? Yes. Who is joining you? Okay.
So we open the doors?
Yes, the speaker had opened, yes. With it, or with the public finance? Okay.
Honorable Senators, this is the Committee of the Whole commencing right now, and I'll ask the clerk to call out order number 13. So we are in order number 13, and I'll request the clerk to take us to the next point.
The County Public Finance Laws Amendment Bill, Senate Bill number 39 of 2023, clauses 3, 4, and 5.
I propose the question that clauses 3, 4, and 5 be part of the bill. I put the question that clauses 3, 4, and 5 be part of the bill. Division at the end.
Clause 6.
I propose the question that clause 6 be part of the bill. And I want to invite the Chairperson Standing Committee on Finance and Budget to move the amendment. Senator Tabitha, can you take up on behalf of the Chair for the Standing Committee on Finance and Budget? Use this.
Madam Chair, I propose that clause 6 be amended as proposed.
I propose the question that clause 6 be amended as proposed. I put the question that clause 6 be amended as proposed. Division at the end.
Clause 7.
I propose the question that clause 7 be part of the bill. I put the question that clause 7 be part of the bill. Division at the end.
Clause 8.
I propose the question that clause 8 be part of the bill, and I want to invite the mover, Chairperson Standing Committee on Finance and Budget, to move this amendment.
Madam Chair, I propose that clause 8 of the bill be amended by deleting the word service, appearing immediately after the words county assembly.
I propose the question that clause 8 be amended as proposed. I put the question that clause 8 be amended as proposed. Division at the end. Next. To your point of order, Senator Sifuna.
Chair, I think it has been practiced that when the mover is moving the amendments, they just state briefly for the House the import of those amendments. I have not heard the Vice Chair of Finance talk to any of those amendments so that we are all on the same page.
Senator Tabitha, I think that objection is in order, so I propose that you assist the Senate to understand those amendments by discussing the import of those amendments to the bill.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The first amendment, which was on clause 6 as a committee, after our deliberations, looking at what we looked at was the issue of the word service, which seemed to be appearing, and we felt that it was really narrowing in terms of the responsibility of the county assembly, and that's why we are saying we are just removing the word service and leaving the word county assembly, because it's not like another entity in place. It's just it as a county assembly.
I hope Senator Sifuna that throws light. Okay. Next.
Clause 9.
I propose the question that clause 9 be part of the bill. I put the question that clause 9 be part of the bill. Division at the end. Next.
Clause 2, the title, and clause 1.
I propose the question that clause 2, the title, and clause 1 be part of the bill. I put the question that clause 2, the title, and clause 1 be part of the bill. Division at the end. Honorable Senators, the report will be done later, so we move to the next bill. So next order. Clerk, you may proceed. You can call it out. Honorable Senators, we are moving to consider the National Assembly amendments to the Persons with Disabilities Bill, Senate Bills number 7 of 2023.
National Assembly amendment to clause 4.
I would request Senator Asige to stand in for the Chairperson Standing Committee on Labor and Social Welfare, and also in view of the fact that she is the mover of this bill. Please approach will help you, the clerk will help you to give the amendment that you should be moving now. So, clerk, can you assist Senator Asige to have the amendment? You have to. Do you have the amendment, Senator Asige?
Thank you very much, Speaker. I do have the chair's guide, but I do not have the amendments before me. And even if I did, Chair, it'll be difficult for me to move through two different documents on one device.
It's in the order paper. Maybe you can assist her to approach the chair. Hmm? Yes. Senator Aaron.
Chair is that she'll need somebody else to check on the second document. She can do one, but not two documents at the same time. So she'll need somebody else to help on the second document.
Senator Miraji, also a member of that committee, you could assist. Give us another schedule. Senator Miraj. So Senator Miraj will now stand in for the chairperson. So you may proceed to move the amendment. Senator Asige, you could resume your seat and wait. We'll guide you. Senator Asige.
Speaker, I would just want to make a quick comment. Speaker, I am wondering, this is for clarification, why is it that this particular order has been in the order paper, but it has not been furnished to me if I was supposed to move chair? I also want to inform the House that this is the precise reason why so many of the clauses of this particular bill talks about things like access to information in an accessible and timely manner for a person with disability, so that this, what we're experiencing now, does not happen, and embarrassment to myself and my office doesn't happen either. Chair, I can read the chair's guide. I just requested that if, as has been requested by Senator for Nairobi, a justification needs to be made on said clause. That document I cannot read at the same time as the chair's guide. So it would be great if some accommodation can be made for me as a person with disability, so that we can exercise the very provisions that we are here to pass right now.
Thank you, Senator Sige. I can clarify that. The Secretariat is making every effort always to make sure that you're not left out or excluded. This amendment was to be moved by the chairperson, Standing Committee on Labor and Social Welfare. You have only been called upon to take up that position because the chairperson was not in, just like we have done, or the chairperson is now back, just like we have done with the Finance and Budget Committee. So nothing unusual has been done. You are only stepping in to fill a gap, a temporary gap, but now we have the chair actually on board. So even Miraj is relieved. Senator Miraj is equally relieved from that responsibility. You will only step in at the point when you're supposed to step in. But nonetheless, let the Secretariat make additional efforts to give you the order paper if you do not have it. The procedure is in the order paper, which I believe you already have. Thank you. Proceed on, Chair. Standing Committee on Labor and Social Welfare.
Which one?
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the National Assembly amendment to be approved. Clause 4.
Can you discuss the import of that amendment? Why is that amendment being introduced? Do you have the details, Chair?
No, I don't.
Okay. You can just then move. Okay. I propose the question that the National Assembly amendment to clause 4 be approved. I put the question that the National Assembly amendment to clause 4 be approved, division at the end. Next.
National Assembly amendment to clause 5.
I want to call upon the chair once again to move this amendment.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the National Assembly amendment be approved.
I propose the question that National Assembly amendment to clause 5 be approved. I put the question that the National Assembly amendment to clause 5 be approved. Division at the end. Next.
National Assembly amendment to clause 6.
Chairperson.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move the National Assembly amendment to be approved.
Chairperson, could you please refer to the clause you're making amendments to?
Speaker, I beg to move that the National Assembly Amendment 4, Clause 4, be approved.
We are at Clause 6, Chairperson.
Oh, Clause 6, okay.
I propose the question that the National Assembly Amendment to Clause 6 be approved. I put the question that the National Assembly Amendment to Clause 6 be approved, division at the end.
National Assembly amendment to clause 8.
Chairperson.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the National Assembly Amendment Clause 8 be approved.
I propose the question that the National Assembly Amendment to Clause 8 be approved. I put the question that the National Assembly Amendment to Clause 8 be approved, division at the end.
National Assembly amendment to clause 11.
Chairperson.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the National Assembly Amendment 11 be approved.
I propose the question that the National Assembly Amendment to Clause 11 be approved. I put the question that the National Assembly Amendment to Clause 11 be approved, division at the end.
National Assembly amendment to clause 20.
Chairperson.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the National Assembly Amendment 20 to be approved.
I propose the question that the National Assembly Amendment to Clause 20 be approved. I put the question that the National Assembly Amendment to Clause 20 be approved, division at the end.
National Assembly amendment to clause 21.
Chairperson.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the National Assembly Amendment 21 to be approved.
I propose the question that the National Assembly amendment to Clause 21 be approved. I put the question that the National Assembly amendment to Clause 21 be approved. Division at the end.
National Assembly amendment to Clause 25.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the National Assembly Amendment 25 be approved.
I propose the question that the National Assembly amendment to Clause 25 be approved. I put the question that the National Assembly amendment to Clause 25 be approved. Division at the end.
National Assembly amendment to Clause 26.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the National Assembly Amendment Clause 26 be approved.
I propose the question that the National Assembly amendment to Clause 26 be approved. I put the question that the National Assembly amendment to Clause 26 be approved. Division at the end.
National Assembly amendment to Clause 28.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the National Assembly Amendment Clause 28 be approved.
I propose the question that the National Assembly amendment to Clause 28 be approved. I put the question that the National Assembly amendment to Clause 28 be approved. Division at the end.
National Assembly amendment to Clause 29.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the National Assembly Amendment Clause 29 be approved.
I propose the question that the National Assembly amendment to Clause 29 be approved. I put the question that the National Assembly amendment to Clause 29 be approved. Division at the end.
National Assembly amendment to Clause 45.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the National Assembly Amendment Clause 45 be approved.
I propose the question that the National Assembly amendment to Clause 45 be approved. I put the question that the National Assembly amendment to Clause 45 be approved. Division at the end.
National Assembly amendment to Clause 50.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the National Assembly Amendment Clause 50 be approved.
I propose the question that the National Assembly amendment to Clause 50 be approved. I put the question that the National Assembly amendment to Clause 50 be approved. Division at the end.
National Assembly amendment to Clause 56.
Chairperson.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that National Assembly Amendment Clause 56 be approved.
I propose the question that the National Assembly amendment to Clause 56 be approved. I put the question that the National Assembly amendment to Clause 56 be approved. Division at the end.
National Assembly amendment to Clause 62.
Chairperson.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the National Assembly Amendment Clause 62 be approved.
I propose the question that the National Assembly amendment to Clause 62 be approved. I put the question that the National Assembly amendment to Clause 62 be approved. Division at the end.
National Assembly amendment to Clause 63.
Chairperson.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the National Assembly Amendment Clause 63 be approved.
I propose the question that the National Assembly amendment to Clause 63 be approved. I put the question that the National Assembly amendment to Clause 63 be approved. Division at the end.
National Assembly amendment to Clause 65.
Chairperson.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the National Assembly Amendment Clause 65 be approved.
I propose the question that the National Assembly amendment to Clause 65 be approved. I put the question that the National Assembly amendment to Clause 65 be approved. Division at the end.
National Assembly amendment to Clause 66.
Chairperson.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the National Assembly Amendment Clause 66 be approved.
I propose the question that the National Assembly amendment to Clause 66 be approved. I put the question that the National Assembly amendment to Clause 66 be approved. Division at the end.
National Assembly amendment to Clause 72.
Chairperson.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that National Assembly Amendment Clause 72 be approved.
I propose the question that the National Assembly amendment to Clause 72 be approved. I put the question that the National Assembly amendment to Clause 72 be approved. Division at the end.
National Assembly amendment to clause 74.
Chairperson.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the National Assembly amendment clause 74 be approved.
I propose the question that the National Assembly amendment to clause 74 be approved. I put the question that the National Assembly amendment to clause 74 be approved, division at the end. Chairperson, could you please approach the desk?
Insertion of new clause 36A.
Chairperson.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to move that the National Assembly amendment be inserted, new clause 36A be approved.
I propose the question that the National Assembly amendment to insert new clause 36A be approved. I put the question that the National Assembly amendment to insert new clause 36A be approved, division at the end.
Insertion of new clause 66A.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to move that the National Assembly amendment be inserted, new clause 66A be approved.
I propose the question that the National Assembly amendment to insert new clause 66A be approved. I put the question that the National Assembly amendment to insert new clause 66A be approved, division at the end.
Insertion of new clause 73A.
Chairperson.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to move that National Assembly amendment be inserted, new clause 73A be approved.
I propose the question that the National Assembly amendment to insert new clause 73A be approved. I put the question that the National Assembly amendment to insert new clause 73A be approved, division at the end.
So we will defer the reporting.
Honorable Senators, we will defer the division and proceed to the next order, the County Assembly Services Amendment Bill, Senate Bill number 34 of 2023.
New clauses 2 and 3.
I propose the question that clause 2 and 3 be part of the bill. I put the question that clause 2 and 3 be part of the bill, division at the end.
Clause 4.
I propose the question that clause 4 be part of the bill. Chairperson, Standing Committee on Devolution and Intergovernmental Relations.
Honorable Speaker, that the bill be amended by deleting the clause 4.
I propose the question that clause 4 be deleted. I put the question that clause 4 be deleted, division at the end.
Clause 5.
I propose the question that clause 5 be part of the bill. Chairperson.
Chair, I propose that the bill be amended by deleting clause 5.
I propose the question that clause 5 be deleted. I put the question that clause 5 be deleted, division at the end.
Clauses 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10.
I propose the question that clauses 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 be part of the bill. I put the question that clauses 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 be part of the bill, division at the end.
The title and clause 1.
I propose the question that the title and clause 1 be part of the bill. I put the question that the title and clause 1 be part of the bill, division at the end. Honourable Senators, we will refer the reporting and proceed to the next order, the County Assembly's Pension Scheme Bill, Senate Bill number 14 of 2024. Senator Murgo, Chairperson, Standing Committee on Labour and Social Welfare, please approach the desk.
County Assembly's Pension Scheme Bill, Senate Bills number 14 of 2024. Clause 3.
I propose the question that clause 3 be part of the bill. I put the question that clause 3 be part of the bill, division at the end.
Clause 4.
I propose the question that clause 4 be part of the bill. Chairperson, Standing Committee on Labour and Social Welfare.
Honourable Speaker, sir, I beg to move that clause 4 be amended as approved as proposed.
I propose the question that clause 4 be amended as proposed. I put the question that clause 4 be amended as proposed. Division at the end.
Clause 5.
I propose the question that clause 5 be part of the bill. Chairperson.
I beg to move that clause 5 be amended as proposed.
I propose the question that clause 5 be amended as proposed. I put the question that clause 5 be amended as proposed. Division at the end.
Clause 6.
I propose the question that clause 6 be part of the bill. Chairperson.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to move that clause 6 be amended as proposed.
I propose the question that clause 6 be amended as proposed. I put the question that clause 6 be amended as proposed. Division at the end.
Clauses 7 and 8.
I propose the question that clause 7 and 8 be part of the bill. I put the question that clauses 7 and 8 be part of the bill. Division at the end.
Clause 9.
I propose the question that clause 9 be part of the bill. Chairperson.
I beg to move that clause 9 be amended as proposed.
I propose the question that clause 9 be amended as proposed. I put the question that clause 9 be amended as proposed. Division at the end.
Clause 10.
I propose the question that clause 10 be part of the bill. I put the question that clause 10 be part of the bill. Division at the end.
Clause 11.
I propose the question that clause 11 be part of the bill. Move, Chairperson.
I beg to move that clause 11 be amended as proposed.
I propose the question that clause 11 be amended as proposed. I put the question that clause 11 be amended as proposed. Division at the end.
Clause 12.
I propose the question that clause 12 be part of the bill. I put the question that clause 12 be part of the bill. Division at the end.
Clause 13.
I propose the question that clause 13 be part of the bill. Chairperson. Clause 13.
I beg to move that clause 13 be amended as proposed.
I propose the question that clause 13 be amended as proposed. I put the question that clause 13 be amended as proposed. Division at the end.
Clause 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and 22.
I propose the question that clauses 14 to 22 be part of the bill. I put the question that clauses 14 to 22 be part of the bill. Division at the end.
Clause 23.
I propose the question that clause 23 be part of the bill. Chairperson.
I beg to move that clause 23 be amended as proposed.
I propose the question that clause 23 be amended as proposed. I put the question that clause 23 be amended as proposed. Division at the end.
Clause 24.
I propose the question that clause 24 be part of the bill. Chairperson.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to move that clause 24 be amended as proposed.
I propose the question that clause 24 be amended as proposed. I put the question that clause 24 be amended as proposed. Division at the end? Division at the end.
Clause 25.
I propose the question that clause 25 be part of the bill. I put the question that clause 25 be part of the bill. Division at the end.
Clause 26.
I propose the question that clause 26 be part of the bill. Chairperson.
I beg to move that clause 26 be amended as proposed.
I propose the question that clause 26 be amended as proposed. I put the question that clause 26 be amended as proposed. Division at the end.
Clauses 27 and 28.
I propose the question that clause 27 and 28 be part of the bill. I put the question that clause 27 and 28 be part of the bill. Division at the end.
Clause 29.
I propose the question that clause 29 be part of the bill. Chairperson.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to move that clause 29 be amended as proposed.
I propose the question that clause 29 be amended as proposed. I put the question that clause 29 be amended as proposed. Division at the end.
Clauses 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, and 40.
I propose the question that clauses 30 to 40 be part of the bill. I put the question that clauses 30 to 40 be part of the bill. Division at the end.
Clauses 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, and 48.
I propose the question that clauses 41 to 48 be part of the bill. I put the question that clauses 41 to 48 be part of the bill. Division at the end.
Clause 49.
I propose the question that clause 49 be part of the bill. Chairperson.
I beg to move that clause 49 be amended as proposed.
I propose the question that clause 49 be amended as proposed. I put the question that clause 49 be amended as proposed. Division at the end.
Clauses 50 and 51.
Clauses 50 and 51, I propose the question that clauses 50 and 51 be part of the bill. I put the question that clauses 50 and 51 be part of the bill. Division at the end.
Clause 52.
I propose the question that clause 52 be part of the bill. Chairperson.
I beg to move that clause 52 be amended as proposed.
Clause 52.
I propose the question that clause 52 be deleted. Chairperson. I propose the question that clause 52 be part of the bill. Chairperson.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to move that clause 52 be deleted.
I propose the question that clause 52 be deleted. I put the question that clause 52 be deleted. Division at the end.
Clause 53.
I propose the question that clause 53 be part of the bill. Chairperson. 53.
I beg to move that clause 53 be deleted.
Be amended.
Be amended.
As proposed.
Be amended as proposed.
I propose the question that clause 53 be amended as proposed. I put the question that clause 53 be amended as proposed. Division at the end.
Clause 54.
I propose the question that clause 54 be part of the bill. I put the question that clause 54 be part of the bill. Division at the end. New clause. Insertion of new clause.
New clause 46A.
Chairperson. New clause.
I beg to move that new clause 56A
46A
be now read a second time.
I propose the question that new clause 46A be now read a second time. I put the question that new clause 46A be now read a second time. Division at the end.
New clause 46B.
Chairperson.
I beg to move that new clause 46B be now read a second time.
I propose the question that new clause 46B be now read a second time. I put the question that new clause 46B be now read a second time. Division at the end.
Clause 2.
I propose the question that clause 2 be part of the bill. Chairperson.
I beg to move that new clause...
No. Just clause 2. Proposed as amended.
I beg to move that clause 40...
Clause 2. Clause 2.
Clause 2 be amended as proposed.
I propose the question that clause 2 be amended as proposed. I put the question that clause 2 be amended as proposed. Division at the end.
The title.
I propose the question that the title be part of the bill. Chairperson.
I beg to move that
the title be part of the bill. Be amended as proposed.
Be amended as proposed.
I propose the question that the title be amended as proposed. I put the question that the title be amended as proposed. Division at the end.
Clause 1.
I propose the question that clause 1 be part of the bill. I put the question that clause 1 be part of the bill. Division at the end. Honorable Senators, we shall defer the reporting and proceed to the next order. We're now doing the Land Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bills number 40 of 2022.
Clause 3.
I propose the question that clause 3 be part of the bill. Chairperson.
I beg to move that clause 3 be amended as proposed.
I propose the question that clause 3 be amended as proposed. I put the question that clause 3 be amended as proposed. Division at the end.
Clause 2, the title and clause 1.
I propose the question that clause 2, the title and clause 1 be part of the bill. I put the question that clause 2, the title and clause 1 be part of the bill. Division at the end. We shall defer reporting of this bill and move to the next order. Senator Dulo, please approach the desk. Honorable Senators, we are now on the National Disaster Risk Management Bill, National Assembly Bills number 24 of 2023.
Clause 3.
I propose the question that Clause 3 be part of the bill. Senator Mbugo, Chairperson. Standing in for the Chairperson. Or for Senator Chute.
I beg to move that clause 3 be amended as proposed.
I propose the question that Clause 3 be amended as proposed. I put the question that Clause 3 be amended as proposed, division at the end.
Clause 4.
I propose the question that Clause 4 be part of the bill. Senator Mbugo.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to move that Clause 4 be amended as proposed.
I propose the question that Clause 4 be amended as proposed. I put the question that Clause 4 be amended as proposed, division at the end.
Clause 5.
I propose the question that Clause 5 be part of the bill. I put the question that Clause 5 be part of the bill, division at the end.
Clause 6.
I propose the question that Clause 6 be part of the bill. Chairperson, Senator Dulo. Clause 6.
Chair, I propose that the bill be amended as proposed in the amendment. Thank you.
Clause 6.
Clause 6, yes.
Clause 6 be amended as proposed.
Yeah, Clause 6 amended as proposed. Thank you.
I propose the question that Clause 6 be amended as proposed. I put the question that Clause 6 be amended as proposed, division at the end.
Clause 7.
I propose the question that Clause 7 be part of the bill. Chairperson.
Chair, I propose Clause 7 be amended as proposed. Thank you.
I propose the question that Clause 7 be amended as proposed. I put the question that Clause 7 be amended as proposed, division at the end.
Clause 8.
I propose the question that Clause 8 be part of the bill. I put the question that Clause 8 be part of the bill, division at the end.
Clause 9.
I propose the question that Clause 9 be part of the bill. Chairperson.
I propose Clause 9 be amended as proposed.
I propose the question that Clause 9 be amended as proposed. I put the question that Clause 9 be amended as proposed, division at the end.
Clause 10.
I propose the question that Clause 10 be part of the bill. Chairperson.
I propose Clause 10 be amended as proposed.
I propose the question that Clause 10 be amended as proposed. I put the question that Clause 10 be amended as proposed, division at the end.
Clauses 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, and 26.
I propose the question that Clauses 11 to 26 be part of the bill. I put the question that Clauses 11 to 26 be part of the bill, division at the end.
Clause 27.
I propose the question that Clause 27 be part of the bill. Chairperson.
Chair, I propose Clause 27 be amended as proposed.
I propose the question that Clause 27 be amended as proposed. I put the question that Clause 27 be amended as proposed, division at the end.
Clause 28.
I propose the question that Clause 28 be part of the bill. Chairperson.
I propose Clause 28 be amended as proposed.
I propose the question that Clause 28 be amended as proposed. I put the question that Clause 28 be amended as proposed, division at the end.
Clause 29.
I propose the question that Clause 29 be part of the bill. Chairperson.
I propose Clause 29 be amended as proposed.
I propose the question that Clause 29 be amended as proposed. I put the question that Clause 29 be amended as proposed, division at the end.
Clauses 30 and 31.
I propose the question that Clauses 30 and 31 be part of the bill. I put the question that Clauses 30 and 31 be part of the bill, division at the end.
Clause 32.
I propose the question that Clause 32 be part of the bill. Chairperson.
I propose Clause 32 be amended as proposed.
I propose the question that Clause 32 be amended as proposed. I put the question that Clause 32 be amended as proposed, division at the end.
Clauses 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, and 51.
I propose the question that Clauses 33 to 51 be part of the bill. I put the question that Clauses 33 to 51 be part of the bill, division at the end.
Clause 52.
I propose the question that Clause 52 be part of the bill. Senator Mbugwa.
Chair, I beg to move that new clause 52A be now read a second time.
Just clause 52, not new. Amended as proposed.
I beg to move that new clause 52 be now read a second time.
Just clause 52.
Clause 52.
Clause 52 be amended as proposed.
I beg to move that clause 52 be amended as proposed.
I propose the question that clause 52 be amended as proposed. I put the question that clause 52 be amended as proposed. Division at the end.
Clauses 53 and 54.
I propose the question that clauses 53 and 54 be part of the bill. I put the question that clauses 53 and 54 be part of the bill. Division at the end.
New clause 41A.
She has notes. Chairperson, new clause 41A.
Chair, I propose new clause 41A be amended as proposed.
Be read a second time.
Be read a second time.
I propose the question that new clause 41A be now read a second time. I put the question that new clause 41A be now read a second time. Division at the end.
New clause 41B.
Chairperson.
Chair, I propose new clause 41B read a second time.
I propose the question that new clause 41B be now read a second time. I put the question that new clause 41B be now read a second time. Division at the end.
New clause 41C.
Chairperson.
Chair, I propose new clause 41C be read a second time.
I propose the question that new clause 41C be now read a second time. I put the question that new clause 41C be now read a second time. Division at the end.
New clause 41D.
Chairperson.
I propose new clause 41D be read a second time.
I propose the question that new clause 41D be now read a second time. I put the question that new clause 41D be now read a second time. Division at the end.
New clause 41E.
Chairperson.
Chair, I propose new clause 41E be read a second time.
I propose the question that new clause 41E be now read a second time. I put the question that new clause 41E be now read a second time. Division at the end.
New clause 52A.
Senator Mbugua, new clause 52A.
Chair, I beg to move that new clause 52A be now read a second time.
I propose the question that new clause 52A be now read a second time. I put the question that new clause 52A be now read a second time. Division at the end.
The schedule.
I propose the question that the schedule be put part of the bill. I put the question that the schedule be part of the bill. Division at the end.
Clause 2.
I propose the question that clause 2 be part of the bill. Chairperson. Clause 2 be part of the bill. Amended as proposed.
Clause 2 amended as proposed. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
I propose the question that clause 2 be amended as proposed. I put the question that clause 2 be amended as proposed. Division at the end. Senator Chute has an amendment to clause 2. The two amendments do not conflict. Senator Mbugua, if you could please propose. Propose that clause 2 be amended as proposed.
Chair, I beg to move that clause 2 be amended as proposed.
I propose the question that clause 2 be amended as proposed. I put the question that clause 2 be amended as proposed. Division at the end.
The title and clause 1.
I propose the question that the title and clause 1 be part of the bill. I put the question that the title and clause 1 be part of the bill. Division at the end. Honorable Senators, we shall defer reporting to a later time and move to the next Honorable Senators, we are now at division. We shall ring the bell for 5 minutes and proceed to division.
The division bell is yet again ringing at the Senate, but at this particular juncture, it is upon the conclusion of the consideration of bills under the Committee of the Whole, where the House was considering 5 bills. Among them is the consideration of the National Assembly amendments to the Persons with Disability Bill, this being a bill by Senator Crystal Asige, Bill number 7 of the year 2023. The County Public Finance Laws Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 39 of the year 2023. The County Assembly Services Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 34 of the year 2023 by Senator Mohamed Chute. The County Assembly's Pension Scheme Bills, Senate Bills number 14 of the year 2024. The National Disaster Risk Bill, National Assembly Bills number 24 of the year 2023 by the Senate leader of the majority party, and the Land Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bills number 40 of the year 2022. These bills are due for division, where senators are set to consider them. We have the whip calling upon senators within the presence of Parliament to make their way back into the chamber this afternoon to necessitate the conclusion of consideration of the bills in question. To just take you through some of the bills and what they entail. The bill by Senator Crystal Asige on the persons with disability is a bill that is seeking to bring equity and inclusion of persons with disability. With the division bell, time allocated having lapsed, allow me to hand over back to the chamber so we can follow up on the live proceedings.
Honorable Senators, we are unable to raise the numbers for the division, so we shall proceed just to report progress. We will start with the Energy Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 42 of 2023. The mover is Senator Sifuna.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I beg to move that the committee do report to the Senate its consideration of the Energy Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 42 of 2023, and its approval thereof without amendments.
Approach the desk.
Just a minute. Apologies, Honorable Chair, and thank you for that guidance. Honorable Chairperson, pursuant to Standing Order 153, I beg to move that the Committee of the Whole do report to the Senate its consideration of the Energy Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 42 of 2023, and seek leave to sit again tomorrow.
I put the question that the Committee of the Whole do report to the Senate its consideration of the Energy Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 42 of 2023, and seek leave to sit again tomorrow. As many as of that opinion say aye. As many as of the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. The next bill, consideration of the National Assembly amendments to the Persons with Disability Bill, Senate Bills number 7 of 2023. Senator Crystal Asige.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. Pursuant to Standing Order 153, I also beg to move that the committee do report to the Senate its consideration of the National Assembly amendments to the Persons with Disabilities Bill, Senate Bill number 7 of 2023, and seek leave to sit again tomorrow.
I put the question that the committee do report to the Senate its consideration of the National Assembly amendments to the Persons with Disabilities Bill, Senate Bills number 7 of 2023, and seek leave to sit again tomorrow. As many as of that opinion say aye. As many as of the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. The next bill is the County Public Finance Laws Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 39 of 2023. Deputy Speaker. Senator Miraj.
Honorable Chairperson, pursuant to Standing Order 153, I beg to move that the Committee of the Whole do report progress, its consideration of the Public Finance Laws Amendment Bill, Senate Bill number 39 of 2023, and seek leave to sit again tomorrow.
I put the question that the Committee of the Whole do report progress on its consideration of the County Public Finance Laws Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 39 of 2023, and seek leave to sit again tomorrow. As many as of that opinion say aye. As many as of the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Now we go to the County Assembly Services Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 34 of 2023. Senator Mbugua. Senator Mbugua on behalf of Senator Chute, if you could please move.
Can I proceed, Chairperson?
Proceed.
Honorable Chairperson, pursuant to Standing Order number 153, I beg to move that the Committee of the Whole do report to the Senate its consideration of the County Assembly Services Amendment Bill and seek leave to sit again tomorrow.
I put the question that the Committee of the Whole do report to the Senate its consideration of the County Assembly Services Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 34 of 2023, and seek leave to sit again tomorrow. As many as of that opinion say aye. As many as of the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Now, County Assembly Pension Scheme Bill.
We're now moving to the county. Who's honorable senators? Somebody is listening to their. Whose phone is that? Honorable Senators, we are now proceeding to the County Assembly's Pension Scheme Bill, Senate Bills number 14 of 2024.
Honorable Chairperson, pursuant to Standing Order number 153, I beg to move that the Committee of the Whole do report on its consideration of the County Assembly's Pension Scheme Bill, Senate Bill number 14 of 2024, and seek leave to sit again tomorrow.
I put the question that the Committee of the Whole do report on its consideration of the County Assembly's Pension Scheme Bill, Senate Bills number 14 of 2024, and seek leave to sit again tomorrow. As many as of that opinion say aye. As many as of the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. The next bill, we're proceeding to the National Disaster Risk Management Bill, National Assembly Bills number 24 of 2023. Senator Dulo. Oh, sorry. Majority Leader.
Honorable Chairperson, pursuant to Standing Order number 153, I beg to move that the Committee of the Whole do report its consideration of the National Disaster Risk Management Bill, National Assembly Bill number 24 of 2023, and seek leave to sit again tomorrow.
I put the question that the Committee of the Whole do report on its consideration of the National Disaster Risk Management Bill, National Assembly Bills number 24 of 2023, and seek leave to sit again tomorrow. As many as of that opinion say aye. As many as of the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. We proceed to the final bill, the Land Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bills number 40 of 2022. Majority Leader.
Yeah, I'm getting it. There are many. Yes. Honorable Chairperson, pursuant to Standing Order number 153, I beg to move that the Committee of the Whole do report on its consideration of the Land Amendment Bill, National Assembly, Bills number 40 of 2022, and seek leave to sit again tomorrow.
I put the question that the Committee of the Whole do report on its consideration of the Land Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bills number 40 of 2022, and seek leave to sit again tomorrow. As many as of that opinion say aye. As many as of the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
So you will need all of them,
Yes,
number 1 to 7.
number 1 to
eh?
7.
Mm. Nani?
Honourable Senators, we are resuming this session for the reporting of the bills by the chairpersons of the respective committees. And I want to call out the chairperson for the Energy Committee to tackle the Energy Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 42 of 2023. Chairperson to report on this, Senator Haji.
Honourable Speaker, I beg to report that the Committee of the Whole has considered the Energy Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 42 of 2023 and seeks leave to sit again tomorrow.
I want to call the mover to report.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. I beg to move that the House do agree with the committee in the said report.
Who is seconding?
The Honourable Edama Olekina. Oh, sorry. The Vice Chair of the Honourable Speaker.
Vice Chair is here, but it's already reported. Do you still want to report, Vice Chair?
Second.
I mean to second?
Madam Speaker,
second.
you know the mover of the bill was, the sponsor of the bill is Senator Sifuna. So I just wanted to second. I thought he wanted to give my powers to his boss. I second.
Thank you, Senator Kisang, for that. Honourable Senators, I propose the question that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. I put the question that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. As many as are of that opinion say aye. Aye. As many as are of contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. I want to call upon the chairperson to give the report of the consideration of the National Assembly amendments to the Persons with Disabilities Bill, Senate Bills number 7 of 2023.
Honourable Chairperson, pursuant to Standing Order number 153, I beg to move that the committee do report to the Senate its consideration of the National Assembly amendments to the Persons with Disability Bill, Senate Bills number 7 of 2023, and seek leave to sit again tomorrow.
Thank you, Senator. I want to call upon the mover to report. The chairperson of this committee, Senator Mogo. Oh, this was Senator Asige's bill. So, Senator Asige, can you move the House?
Thank you. I thought I would not get the opportunity to move my own bill, Speaker. But I do beg. I move that the House do agree with the committee on the said report.
Who is seconding?
I request I request Senator Mbugua to second.
Senator Mbugua.
Mr. Speaker, I second.
Thank you. I propose the question that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. I put the question that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. As many as are of that opinion say aye. As many as are of contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. I call upon the chair to report on the progress of the County Public Finance Laws Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 39 of 2023.
Honourable Speaker, I beg to report that the Committee of the Whole has considered the County Public Finance Laws Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 39 of 2023, and seeks leave to sit again tomorrow.
To call upon the mover of this Finance and Budget Committee, Senator Miraj, you have instructions.
Honourable Speaker, I beg to move that the House do agree with the committee on the said report. I beg Senator Sigei to second.
Senator Sigei.
Madam Speaker, I second.
Thank you. I propose the question that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. I put the question that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. As many as are of that opinion say aye. As many as are of contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. The next bill is the County Assembly Services Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 34 of 2023. Chairperson to report.
Honourable Speaker, I beg to report that the Committee of the Whole has considered the County Assembly Services Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 34 of 2023, and seeks leave to sit again tomorrow.
Thank you. I want to call upon the mover of this bill to proceed.
Honourable Speaker, I beg to move that the House do agree with the committee on the said report. I request Senator Karen Nyamu to second.
I second, Chair.
Thank you, Senator Karen. I propose the question that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. I put the question that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. As many as are of that opinion say aye. As many as are of contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. The next bill is the County Assembly's Pension Scheme Bill, Senate Bills number 14 of 2024, and I call upon the Chair to report.
Honourable Speaker, I beg to report that the Committee of the Whole has considered the County Assembly's Pension Scheme Bill, Senate Bills number 14 of 2024, and seeks leave to sit again tomorrow.
I call upon the mover of this bill.
Honourable Speaker, I beg to move that the House do agree with the committee on the said report. I request Senator Crystal Asige to second.
Thank you, Speaker. I second as moved.
Senator Asige. I propose the question that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. I put the question that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. As many as are of that opinion say aye. As many as are of contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. The next bill is the National Disaster Risk Management Bill, National Assembly Bills number 24 of 2023. Chairperson, please report.
Honourable Speaker, I beg to report that the Committee of the Whole has considered the National Disaster Risk Management Bill, National Assembly Bills number 24 of 2023, and seeks leave to sit again tomorrow.
Thank you. I now invite the mover to move the report. The mover of this bill.
Honourable Speaker, I beg to move that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. I request Senator Edwin Sifuna to second.
Thank you, Chair. I second.
Thank you, Senator Sifuna. I propose the question that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. I put the question that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. As many as are of that opinion say aye. As many as are of contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. The final bill is the Land Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bills number 40 of 2022, and I invite the chairperson to report.
Honourable Speaker, I beg to report that the Committee of the Whole has considered the Land Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bills number 40 of 2022, and seeks leave to sit again tomorrow.
Thank you, Senator Abdul Haji. I now call upon the mover to move the report.
Honourable Speaker, I beg to move that the Senate do agree with the committee in the said report. I request Senator Recha Murgo to second.
Madam Speaker, I second.
Thank you, Honourable Murgo. Honourable Senators, I propose the question that the Senate do agree with the committee in the said report. I put the question that the Senate do agree with the committee in the said report. As many as are of that opinion say aye. As many as are of contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. We are done with that section. So we are proceeding on to the next order, order number 18.
Order number 18, motion, report of the Standing Committee on Devolution and Intergovernmental Relations and the Standing Committee on Justice, Legal Affairs and Human Rights on a petition to the Senate by Mr. Laban Omusundi concerning restraining county governments from hiring law firms to represent them in court cases.
Senator Sigay, to move the joint report.
Madam Speaker, I thank you. And I beg to move on behalf of my co-chair, Senator Abbas, that the Senate adopts the report of the Standing Committee on Devolution and Intergovernmental Relations and the Standing Committee on Justice, Legal Affairs and Human Rights on a petition to the Senate by Mr. Laban Omusundi concerning restraining county governments from hiring law firms to represent them in court cases laid on the table of the Senate on Thursday, 3rd of April 2025. Madam Speaker, this is a report which is a product of a joint sitting of the two committees, which was convened after the petitioner, one Mr. Laban Omusundi, who is a resident of Nakuru County, petitioned this Honorable House with regards to the aspect on restraining the county governments from hiring law firms to represent them on legal cases or providing legal services. The basis of Mr. Omusundu's petition, Madam Speaker, is that we do have, according to him, in the county government's departments that is headed by a county attorney, and according to him, that department ordinarily would be expected to manage and deal with all legal issues that are a subject of legal challenges by county governments. Madam Speaker, the issues that were raised by Mr. Omusundi in his petition was that a lot of billions of shillings in form of taxpayers' money are generally paid out by county governments to law firms for representing such county governments in courts on issues which are legal, yet they do have in their employ, as employees of the county government, the office of county attorney, and several attorneys, or rather legal lawyers, who are supposed to be obligated to represent the county governments in such matters. Madam Speaker, when this report was tabled, the committee, the Speaker, did direct that the two committees to convene and to deal with this particular petition. In this petition, Mr. Omusundi made several prayers, which, according to him, were available to be issued by this House, one of which was to restrain the county governments from hiring law firms in civil cases by establishing a legal framework to the effect that that is protecting the public funds. Two was to ask that the House do recall any subject that has already been commissioned to law firms other than the county attorneys. And thirdly, Madam Speaker, was to ask that we put in place measures that would generally deter deliberate, erroneous, administrative decisions, and to ensure that everybody is held responsible personally for the administrative decisions they make that may end in courts and therefore will require the services of law firms by the county government, and lastly, provide any other relief that this Honorable House deems necessary. Madam Speaker, upon the setting up of this joint committee, we invited various stakeholders, and the following are the stakeholders that committed reports and recommendations to this committee. In number, Madam Speaker, there are 6 stakeholders. This is Kenya National Commission on Human Rights, KNHCR, the Controller of Budget, the Office of the Auditor General, the Law Society of Kenya, the Council of Governors, and the County Attorneys Forum. Madam Speaker, unfortunately, one of the major stakeholders that we expected to submit a report to this joint committee was the Office of the Attorney General. That unfortunately did not send us any response, whether present, or they also did not present themselves, despite the invites that were made by the joint committee. Madam Speaker, the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights and the County Attorneys Forum did submit their reports, which reports, Madam Speaker, were generally agreeable in the objective of Mr. Omusundu's protection of public interest, or rather public funds, whereas the Law Society of Kenya, indeed, upon submitting a written memorandum did appear before the committee on the 1st of July 2024, where they sought for more time within which to submit additional information and to also engage so that they submit more upon deliberating with members of the society as well as other stakeholders relevant to this particular petition. The Council of Governors, Madam Speaker, appeared before the committee on 8th of July, the year 2024, and they presented their petition to the joint committee. Madam Speaker, the analysis that were conducted generally by this committee were with regard to the several submissions by those various stakeholders, particularly with regard to the relevance of the skills that are domiciled within the personnel in the offices of the county attorney of the various counties for purposes of handling complex issues, which is one of the reasons that the Council of Governors had said is justifying their retention of law firms where complex cases are filed as against the county government. Secondly, the other major issue that was raised was the aspect on the remuneration of all these county attorneys and the employees within the county governments, which in most cases, they claimed that they are underpaid and they are not properly motivated to engage in supporting the county governments in matters legal. Thirdly, the other aspect, which was very specific, argued by a number of stakeholders, was the insufficiency of the funds allocated to the office of the county attorney that hampers service delivery and by extension requires that services from law firms from outside are engaged by the county government. And lastly, Madam Speaker, the aspect on inadequate staff that are allowed to be hired by the county attorneys. The issues, Madam Speaker, that the committee picked out for purposes of consideration and that form the flesh to this particular report is the provisions of the Constitution of Kenya, the County Governments Act, the Office of the County Attorneys Act, and the aspect that the Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Acts provide, as well as the Advocates and Remuneration Order, which generally regulates the amount of legal fees which are charged by law firms for services rendered to either any other client, not necessarily limited to the client in the form of county governments. And these are the laws and regulations that guided the joint committee in coming up with the recommendations that were made. Secondly, the other very critical consideration the committee did was also the expenditure which the committee noted has been captured by a number of reports from the Auditor General as well as the county government spending bills, which were very high when it comes to matters legal services. There was also the aspect of irregularities in terms of instructions being given out to warrant the ballooning expenditure that has been reported by counties with regards to legal services. The committee, Madam Speaker, noticed that there was need for counties to comply with the Public Procurement and Assets Disposals Act 2015, especially when they are seeking to outsource legal services, and to ensure that the fees which the lawyers charge the county governments are also charged within the provisions of the Advocates' Remuneration Order and other relevant statutes, including also an engagement where prior to getting instructions, requests for proposals of legal fees and quotations are made by county governments so that the lowest among those who can submit their proposals would be taken. By doing that, Madam Speaker, the county governments would also be efficiently using resources by making sure that they don't just do for the sake of hiring lawyers. And therefore, Madam Speaker, on the basis of all the findings and the reports that we got from the various stakeholders and the observations made by the committee, the following were recommendations made, which of course I want to urge members to look through. It is a 5-chapter report, and therefore it will be very important for members to look at the recommendations made and also the submissions by the various stakeholders that guided this particular committee in coming up with these recommendations. And therefore, Madam Speaker, the recommendations made by the committee included the following: that the county governments are encouraged to capacity build on the employees who are already within their service under the office of the county attorney. By doing this, Madam Speaker, they will be encouraged to ensure that the complex cases which were made reference to as a basis of hiring lawyers from outside the county, the employee of the county, would be justified. Secondly, Madam Speaker, county governments are encouraged to strictly adhere to the regulations, the legal framework, and also the Public Procurement Act, as well as the Advocates Remuneration Order when they are approving payments for legal services. Madam Speaker, when they do this, they will, of course, be definitely charging within the scale, and this will also ensure that public resources are managed and also the expenditure on legal services generally would be managed. Thirdly, Madam Speaker, the county governments in the recommendation made were advised that whenever they seek representations from external lawyers, they should only be limited occasionally to complex cases that would be justified because of the expertise that would generally be available within the county government. And by doing that, they are expected to ensure that they comply with the process of procuring such services. Madam Speaker, this is provided for by the County Attorneys Act, where the procedure of procuring services is provided for. And this also, the same act provides for the limits within which this amount should be charged. Madam Speaker, as we make these proposals, we are alive to the fact that they are also entitled to make certain decisions, particularly because they are the people who would largely be affected by whatever decision that is taken when it comes to matters legal that have either been filed before court or matters which are supposed to be dealt with within the county government. So the committee was alive to also the fact that this is a service industry, and therefore it is regulated in law, and the entitlement by law to the services of a lawyer cannot be limited, particularly because of the aspect on the cost, which cost can be managed because the law provides on how to bill, and it also limits under the Advocates Remuneration Order the amount of legal fees that one is expected to charge. Madam Speaker, that is forming the basis of the recommendations made, and as we do this recommendation, Madam Speaker, I take note of the fact that the joint committee was expected to engage, particularly at the level of the county governments where the committee relevant to deal with this particular petition was the Committee on Devolution, but because the aspect of legal fees dealt with the jailer committee, that formed the position that was agreed in a consensus mode. Lastly, Madam Speaker, I appreciate the fact that the Office of the Clerk and the Office of the Speaker indeed supplied this committee with relevant services, and I take this early opportunity to appreciate and thank the Office of the Speaker as well as the Clerk of the Senate for the support that was extended to this joint committee in undertaking this very important petition. And lastly, the stakeholders that submitted before us, the various stakeholders who are key players in this sector, indeed supplied us with very important information that fed into this report. The unfortunate thing, Madam Speaker, is the absence of any interest from the Office of the Attorney General that should have created more interest. And I want to take this early opportunity to encourage the Attorney General and the Office of the Solicitor General to take serious the summons and also the requisitions that would go out of this House, because without their input, Madam Speaker, we lose a lot of public interest aspect that would be taken care of by the Office of the Auditor General. As to whether or not this can speak to the commitment and the respect that the Office of the AG takes to this House, Madam Speaker, I leave that to the judgment of the Office of the AG, because they cannot claim not to have been notified, they cannot claim not to have had a personnel to ensure that they give their input to this very critical aspect, and this is something that has a lot of public interest, and it was expected that the Office of the AG would have played a role as to whether it is something that they could support, or to give a guide in terms of the recommendations which would be very relevant to this particular petition. And Madam Speaker, therefore, I now submit this report and ask the honourable members to support this report, as I request the Honourable Senator for Nairobi County, my good friend, Senator Edwin Sifuna, to second. Madam Speaker, I thank you.
Thank you, Senator Sige. Senator Sifuna.
Madam Speaker, I rise to second. Let me just first of all take this opportunity to thank the committee, the joint committees of JLAC and the Committee on Devolution for the good work that they have done. Although, Madam Speaker, I really wish, and we were just having this discussion with the Senator from Narok, I wish that the recommendations of the committee were stricter than what have been recommended. Madam Speaker, yesterday we woke up to a headline story that there is one lawyer who represented the county government of Nairobi in a suit involving a land squabble between the county government of Nairobi and the military. Honorable Speaker, that lawyer has been awarded 1.3 billion Kenya shillings as legal fees for a case that was involving the military, and which is an arm of government, or one section of government, and a county government. And Honorable Speaker, the most interesting bit is that that case was actually withdrawn by consent, which tells you the county government sat down with the military and agreed to withdraw the case on certain terms. Now, the court is telling the Nairobi County government to pay that 1.3 billion Kenya shillings within 60 days. We as senators here know for a fact that when we pass the disbursement schedule for monies to come from the national government to go to counties, if you look at the disbursement schedule for Nairobi, that is the equivalent of 1 month's disbursement from Exchequer to the Nairobi County government. And then the court is telling us to pay this one individual 1.3 billion Kenya shillings in 60 days. When I was in law school, we learned that the court should not issue orders in vain. My senior here, retired Justice Mazayo, you know for a fact, it doesn't matter what you do. There is no way Nairobi County can pay 1.3 billion Kenya shillings in 60 days. It is not possible. And Madam Speaker, the reason why I was saying the committee should have gone further is because if you look at the total pending bills for Nairobi, which stand over 100 billion Kenya shillings, 20 billion Kenya shillings is pending bills owed to advocates. I can say here without fear or favor that although I am an advocate myself, lawyers in this country have abused this legal fees system in our counties to siphon money from county governments and from the people of the country, and especially the people of Nairobi. It's unconscionable because the remuneration order, Honorable Speaker, when the committee says that the bill should be charged according to the remuneration order, the remuneration order says you use the value of the property to calculate your fees. But Honorable Speaker, if a matter is involving land of half an acre or land of 300 acres, though the value of land changes or varies, the issues involved in that particular legal case, and the good thing is, Chair, you are also a lawyer, they are not different. It's the same law, it's the same dispute, and Honorable Speaker, it's unconscionable for us as legal practitioners to do what is happening in our counties. I was elected, the first time I was ever elected to anything, Honorable Speaker, was to the Council of the Law Society of Kenya in 2016. I am a former council member of the LSK. And although the conversation there is that we should not shrink the practice areas for lawyers, or that we should not try and limit the amount of money that lawyers can charge for as long as it is legal, we are abusing this system. I don't think even the LSK itself can accept what is happening in our counties when it comes to legal fees. So, Honorable Speaker, for me, this petition was a solid petition. And if you look at the feedback that has come from the county governments themselves, they're saying that the internal lawyers that are supposed to be deployed under the county attorney office, sometimes that these matters are of complex nature that require special expertise. I can assure you, Honorable Speaker, that matter that was handled by this so-called expert lawyer that is being paid 1.3 billion Kenya shillings can very well be handled by a young lawyer who will not demand this same fees, especially where the matter is resolved in the manner in which this one was resolved. So this question of expertise is being abused. I have every faith in every advocate who has qualified to be able to handle any matter, although we don't discount the value of experience. But, Honorable Speaker, I insist that this thing called expertise is being misused, and it is the reason why you find counties justifying the need to hire external counsel. They are saying there is low remuneration for the in-house counsel working in counties. There is insufficient budget to the office of the county attorney. But all this would be resolved if the money that we are spending, if you took the 1.3 billion Kenya shillings that we are supposed to pay this external lawyer, Honorable Speaker, and put it in the office of the county attorney, I am sure this insufficiency of budget and the other issues would not arise. So, Honorable Speaker, I would have loved for us to agree in total with the petitioner. But of course, they will say, oh, you are cutting out external legal practitioners from business, that it is unconstitutional or it is unfair. But, Chair, I hope that the JLAC committee and even the Committee of Devolution will sit down with the Law Society of Kenya, and there's a good thing that we have a very good president now at the LSK, and say there are things that are happening in our counties that are not acceptable. It is not acceptable for you as an individual. And you will find this lawyer resides in Nairobi, he's always complaining about the state of roads in his estate. And yet he's taking 1.3 billion shillings for himself, one person. And Nairobi gets 20 billion Kenya shillings every year in terms of exchequer, Madam Speaker. How can you as one person take 1 out of 20 billion Kenya shillings and then you want to complain about the roads in Karen? It is not fair. It is absolutely unfair. And the Law Society of Kenya should have a conversation with its members that whereas we don't want to lock you out of county business, it is unconscionable for one person to take such an amount from a county that is struggling to buy drugs for its residents. Honorable Speaker, I want to also address, because I am a member of the County Public Accounts Committee, and although Nairobi has the bulk of the pending bills when it comes to legal at 20 billion, this question is repeated in all other counties. And we have seen examples of very simple and straightforward matters where you ask the county governor, what justification do you have to pay a lawyer externally instead of using the capacity that you have at the county government? There are questions of how those lawyers are procured, Honorable Speaker. And if you look at Nairobi, for instance, once the lawyers have gotten execution orders, the CEO of finance in Nairobi is always in the cells. They get orders to arrest her every Friday to force the county government to pay. But the county government has no money to pay these people. So even if you were to jail the chief officer for finance for 3 months or 6 months, your money will not be paid. So we have this specter of 20 billion shillings in unpaid legal bills. And it is unmanageable. I know that many counties have set up task forces to look into the veracity of some of these claims. But again, there was a quote in Kitale that said it's only the Auditor General who can tell us which pending bills are payable and which ones are not payable, that those task forces that had been established by counties were illegal. Even here in Nairobi, we had a pending bills verification task force led by Kamodho Iganjo. The entire work that they did, Honorable Speaker, to tell us which bills are payable and which ones are not, was trashed by the courts. So you find that county governments are increasingly finding themselves in a very difficult situation, Honorable Speaker. Because if you try to look at the veracity of these bills, Some of them are admittedly not payable because of the manner in which the procurement was done. The amount of work that was done is not commensurate to what these lawyers are asking for. So for me, really, because after the enactment of the county attorney's law, many of these counties have now employed legal staff in their ranks. And even we as a Senate here, we have our own lawyers, and they go to court to defend this institution. I think there should be a sunset clause. Maybe if the Council of Governors feel that the capacity is not where it needs to be, it's not at optimum, the chair for JLAC, I would propose that we set a sunset clause, that in the next 5 years, all counties must have developed that capacity so that you cannot give us as an excuse that you have inadequate staffing or that they don't have capacity to handle complex legal matters. For those many remarks, Honorable Speaker, I second the motion, but with a rider that I think we should have made more far-reaching recommendations in order to stop this practice in our counties. I thank you, Honorable Chair.
Thank you, Senator Sifuna. Honorable Senators, I propose the question that the Senate adopts the report of the Standing Committee on Devolution and Intergovernmental Relations and Standing Committee on Justice, Legal Affairs and Human Rights on a petition to the Senate by Mr. Laban Omusudi concerning restraining county governments from hiring law firms to represent them in court cases, laid on the table of the Senate on Thursday, 3rd April 2025. Thank you. My dashboard is not showing me any senators you have. Okay. Senator, you can proceed. Senator Ledama Olekina.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I rise to make comments on this very, very, very important petition. And let me thank the Kenyan Laban for having really thought about the expenditures. Some of them end up being negatory expenditures in county governments. When it comes to county government choosing to hire services of lawyers instead of hiring, or rather instead of using in-house counsel. Madam Speaker, we have over 20,000 lawyers in this country, maybe about 11,000 practicing. I'm looking at the recommendations which the committee, the JLA committee, came up with. And I think sometimes, earlier on, we were discussing the issue of conflict of interest. I think the first thing that the committee members would have done is to declare a conflict of interest and maybe recuse themselves from having to consider this matter. Because that committee is made up of lawyers. So, of course, lawyers will be protecting themselves because they are the ones who want to be able to get brief from county governments. Madam Speaker, in Narok County, we have a matter that has been dragging in court for the last 30 years. This is a matter that has to do with Olkiombo land. And to be honest with you, I don't foresee any time when the county government will ever win that matter. What will happen is that it will be a pit for lawyers to collect fees. There have been about 4 lawyers who have already benefited from that matter. And each one of them, including some, 2 of them who are senior counsel in this house, have collected not less than 100 million. Now that matter has gone, and the owner of the land, who is being challenged by the county government, won the matter, and he was awarded 30 billion by the courts. I was just having a simple conversation between 3 lawyers in this house. The retired judge, I was having a similar conversation with Senator Sifuna, a similar conversation with Senator Sigei, in terms of legal fees for any award of 30 billion if it has to be cancelled. Senator Sigei was saying, give me an instruction, just in terms of instructions, of 400 million. You know, and then let's talk about disbursements. So in total, it would end up being almost 1.2 billion shillings. Now you ask yourself, really, with our county government, Madam Speaker, do we have 1.2 billion shillings for us to be able to pay for a matter that a court has awarded 30 billion? And the answer is that we don't have it. So really, I'm looking at one lawyer, one simple lawyer. I'm looking at this recommendation and I'm saying, first, I don't believe that we've done a service to that petitioner. And you know, before we never used to debate these petitions. But now it is important that we debate them so that we can poke holes on the recommendations that are given. Madam Speaker, I think the recommendation should have been far more reaching in terms of capping the amount of money that county government can spend on outsourcing legal services. We should cap them to a maximum of 100 million. And then we use in-house lawyers, or we hire in-house lawyers. You cannot tell me, in a country where we have over 20,000 lawyers, we cannot have lawyers who can be able to argue cases better. And in fact, when you look at it, most senior lawyers use junior lawyers to do all the dirty works. And then ultimately, the senior lawyers will go, they are the ones who get paid. You know? No, maybe not dirty work, but to do the groundwork. I've corrected myself. Thank you. The heavy lifting. Let me borrow that word.
Senator Ledama, Senator Mazayo feels a very urgent ad to inform you. Would you wish to be informed?
I definitely would love him to inform me. Please.
Okay, proceed, Senator Mazayo.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, it's not dirty. I just wanted to say that it might not appear to be clean, but that word dirty does not exist legally. So maybe he can use another language, which you understand.
So, Senator Ledama, you are requested to use a tidier word than dirty.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. You know, Senator Mazayo is my senior and also my leader. I respect his corrections. And let me use the word heavy lifting. Thank you, Senator Oroba. They are the ones who carry out due diligence. They are the ones who carry out discoveries on a matter. They spend hours and hours trying to be able to make sense of any brief that they are given. Then you find that senior lawyers are the ones who will end up getting paid 100 million for a brief. You know, as a former member of the Public Accounts Committee, and also a former member of the Public Investments Account Committee, I came across all these legal bills and how much they are. So I think, and I don't know whether we have room for that because of our standing orders, but this is a matter that I feel that we have not done justice to the petitioner. The recommendation ought to have been that we cap the amount of money that any county government can be able to spend in outsourcing legal services. That is the recommendation number one. You know, when you see, and these are some of my biggest pet peeves, Madam Speaker, when you see a recommendation that says, and Senator Sigay should listen to this, because if I was the chair of that committee and someone brings me such a recommendation, I would throw it back. How can you say the county government should prioritize capacity building program for legal counsel, ensuring competitive remuneration and timely payment of allowances allocated to sufficient budgetary resources, and recruit adequate staff to enhance the performance and effectiveness of office of the county attorney? Madam Speaker, when you hire an attorney to be a county attorney, you go through a vigorous process of hiring a qualified lawyer who's trained by the Kenya School of Law, who understand matters, if it is litigation, if it is conveyancing, if it is tax laws. They have gone through different processes. And they do continuous legal training. So you cannot have that recommendation. A petitioner has come and he has said, please, Senate of Kenya, stop county governments from outsourcing legal services. Stop them. You cannot come and say, now build up the capacity. I think, really, JLAC failed there. And I don't know whether this petition can be resubmitted because we've not done justice to it. What are we going to be implementing here? After the petition, it's sent to the implementing institution or agencies. They are going to implement a capacity training for their legal practitioners. Have they turned into a law school? I mean, certain recommendations should really have some merit and some meat into it. County government should strictly adhere to legal framework governing the outsourcing of legal services and implementing strong oversight and accountability measures. Can you just read that again, Senator Sigei? By yourself, even before you come here and submit it? Because seriously, we have the, is it called the Attorney Remuneration Act? Or lawyers, what is it called? Yeah? Advocates Remuneration Act, which clearly sets how much should be paid, if it is conveyancing, if it is litigation, if it is how much. Then how are you going to come up with a recommendation and say county government should strictly adhere to legal framework governing the outsourcing of legal services? They're already doing it. That's why they give the big cases. You know, if a case is worth 1 billion shillings, what we need to do to be able to give justice to this petition is to say, based on the brief, it should be capped to a maximum of this. If that lawyer cannot get it, get another lawyer. Out of 20,000 lawyers we have in Kenya, there are those ones who really care about the resources that we have. Madam Speaker, the amount of money we spend outsourcing for legal services in this country is ridiculous. We talk about government efficiency. We talk about making sure that we stop wastages of resources. But we are not doing it. Governors, left, right, and center, are using law firms to be able to divert resources. Is that simple? You see a simple brief. Madam Speaker, we go through this. We go through all these matters when we are looking at them. I think what should happen is that during the budget making process, county assemblies must be able to limit the amount of money that can be spent by the county government to outsource legal services. Spend more money with in-house counsel. I feel like this petition has not been given the time that it required. I feel like this petition will not solve anything. And I feel like in future, when a matter comes and it directly affects the members of the committee who are dealing with it, they should just recuse themselves and say, please, let us set up an ad hoc committee to be able to deal with this matter. Lawyers did not give this matter any service. They didn't. Madam Speaker, we look like jokes when we send out these recommendations. I don't agree with them at all. I think if there's a way, I don't know, maybe the Secretariat will be able to advise us because of the time limit of 60 days, whether there's a way for us to relook at this matter again, because it will come back here. We set up an ad hoc committee, we look at these matters diligently, so that when we give out recommendations, these recommendations are too many. I'll read another recommendation, Madam Speaker, which I totally do not agree with it. County government are advised to seek representation from external legal firms occasionally when handling complex and special legal services. What is complex? You've gone to law school. You've been trained. You've graduated. You've been trained to be able to deal with complex, simple, and even cantankerous matters. So it is not that there is a group of, or a cabal, a group of lawyers out there who are trained to deal with complex matters. Complex. I mean, seriously, you guys don't make us look like we are just a bunch of a kangaroo house that just goes with the flow. The next one, Madam Speaker, I'm sorry I'm poking a lot of holes on these recommendations, but I just find them very shallow. The Office of the Auditor General should audit the county government expenditures to identify the specific counties with exorbitant fees spent on legal services as at the time of adopting this report. Give me a break. Madam Speaker, we already know. That report is already out. Where are we trying to still just write things for the sake of it? We already know. All 47 counties, starting from Nairobi County, the amount of legal fees. We already know. The Auditor General has already done it. So if the Auditor General gets this, the Auditor General will just say, okay, give me those reports, cut and paste, boom, boom, send it. Here is a report. What are we going to do? Then what? When the petitioner submitted this petition to this House, the petitioner expected us to be able to say, county government, put a cap. Maximum 50 million a year. So we know if we spend any money, it's probably about 200 million. We need to relook at this. I'm going to take about maybe 2 more minutes to finish. Then it comes at noting that some counties like Nairobi and Kitui counties have established a county pending bills review committee to verify all bills owed by the county government and ascertain their real value. The committee recommends that the county emulates the practice as a step towards management of clearing of pending bills. Madam Speaker, all 47 counties have established pending bills committees. We know that. Okay? It is not going to help this petitioner. I just feel like, I'm sorry to say this, but I feel like the committee did not do a good job in this matter. And this petition has not been given the time and the diligence that it requires. Let me stop there because my dear brother, Senator Sige, is looking at me and saying, this is very bad. You know? So, Madam Speaker, I rest my case. I do not support this recommendation. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Senator Ledama. Senator Mungatana Danson Buya.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me the floor. Madam Speaker, first of all, I want to really commend Mr. Laban Omusundi. I have never met him in person, but I know that he has been raising extremely deep questions in Nakuru town, in Nakuru County, and I commend him for bringing this issue now that affects all 47 counties before the Senate. Madam Speaker, I'm just going to make 2 or 3 points on this. The first thing is that this report has exposed 3 counties that have not yet appointed county attorneys by the end of the audit in 2024. The 3 counties are Tana River County, Lamu County, and Uasin Gishu County. These 3 counties, Madam Speaker, and let me not speak about the other 2. I want to speak about my own county. According to the Office of the County Attorneys Act 2020, Section 16, it is the only act that empowers a county to venture out and get legal services. And you are supposed to go and get legal services with the permission of the county executive, according to this act. Madam Speaker, if you look at Tana River County, it has been paying fees to lawyers, some of whom sit in this house, Madam Speaker. And if you look, they do not have a county attorney's office. They do not have consent from the county executive to pay. So, Madam Speaker, what we are saying is that the counties of Tana River, Uasin Gishu, and Lamu, if they have paid any legal fees, those legal fees are recoverable. And the top people in those counties is the governor. He is the chief executive. These people must find the money to refund the counties. And in the meantime, Madam Speaker, there should be a very strong warning that they cannot continue to contract external lawyers Tana River County has no county attorney, and it should not be able to contract outside lawyers. What they are doing is illegal, and it must be called for that. It's not only illegal, it's also corrupt, Madam Speaker. The law requires that they must have a county attorney and a county solicitor general. So, Madam Speaker, this is the first thing that has exposed the three counties, Tana River County, Lamu County, and the county of Uasin Gishu. And it is wrong that they continue to get legal services from external lawyers, Madam Speaker. This is wrong, and the governors who are the CEOs in these counties must be made to be accountable. Then the big question comes, Madam Speaker. Laban Omusundi, in his petition, does not want legal services to be contracted out at all. He wants all the legal services from all the counties to be done with the legal expertise that is within the counties. Madam Speaker, I will not support that. Why? Because it should not be lawyers alone. Within the counties, services that are required include architectural services. We also need contractors, road building contractors. We also need various other water engineers and so on. Electrical engineers who do not exist within the county's capacities. So it should not be limited to lawyers. I think it should be across if this petition were to succeed the way he wanted. So then, how do we deal with excessive legal fees? Like the one that has been quoted from Nairobi, 1.3 billion. And the courts agreed to give that kind of fee to a single advocate. How do we deal, Madam Speaker, with those kind of things? Madam Speaker, I think the executives in all those counties that have problems with legal fees, that have audit queries, they have been complicit with the charging of excessive legal fees. And the solution, Madam Speaker, is not to chase all the lawyers, because even the recommendation in this report, it says clearly, in some instances, you have complex legal matters that may require the expertise of an external lawyer. And we shouldn't argue that, because that one is a given. My colleague who says that you are trained as an advocate, as a lawyer, to handle both simple and complex matters. The truth of the matter is, some people who have done land cases over a long period of time will have acquired knowledge, experience, and expertise in that area. And some of those cases can be very complex. So, Madam Speaker, I think it is good for the country to hear this, that what needs to be done is that there is a provision for agreement on the kind of legal fees that can be charged on any matter. You do not have to go by the remuneration order. You can always have an agreement on fees. So, for example, this advocate who was charging 1.3 billion for the work that actually ended in a consent judgment, a consent that was drawn between Nairobi County and the military. There could have been an agreement on the legal fees, just the way they agreed on the consent on how to finalize that matter. There could be an agreement as well on the legal fees. So the whole question is, are the executives, is the Council of Governors and the governors in this country, are they being honest? Are they being honest? Why can't we agree that for every matter that comes, there should be a proper legal fee agreement done that does not surpass a certain percentage of the budget that is available for that particular year? A previous speaker has made a very good point here, that you cannot contract something you cannot manage. You cannot say that you're going to pay 1.3 billion to one law firm, and there is only 20 billion that is available for the water, for housing, for salaries, for whatever in Nairobi County. And then you say you're going to pay 1.3 billion to one lawyer. I think the contracts must be very clear that there should be in keeping with the budgets that are available. And the contracts for the legal fees must be such that they are agreeable to the lawyers and to the executive, or if it's the county assembly that is giving those instructions. There should be a very nicely written legal fee agreement. But we can't say, and this should be a standard for all professions. If it is the engineers, if it is the architects, if it is the land surveyors and so on that need to be contracted from outside, or any other service that needs to be contracted from outside, people should not be left to bring their fee notes. It should be an agreement that should be reflective of what the county is receiving in terms of the monies that they get from this Senate. It should not be that the lawyers will come and bring their fee notes as they like, as per the remuneration order. It should not be that the architects will come and bring as per the Architects Act, or the land surveyors. There should be an agreement. And Madam Speaker, this is where the problem is, because county executives, the governors, they are complicit. They are always encouraging huge fee notes because they receive this money back through the back door. This is the fact. This is why Laban Omusundi was complaining in this petition that excessive fee notes are being made out. And Madam Speaker, it is unfair to the counties in this country that so much money is being paid to very few people. This is wrong. But we are saying it is wrong, but the governors are in the middle of it. They are agreeing with these lawyers. They are agreeing with those architects. Madam Speaker, we sat here and we agreed that to construct an entire building for the governor's residence, the figure was given and it was standard. The designs were drawn and we agreed, all of us, that this is what's going to happen. Why shouldn't that be done for law firms? Why shouldn't that be done for land surveyors? Why can't agreements be done that are reflective of the capacities of the amounts of money that are available to our counties? I think it has gone on for too long and it should be stopped. So to the extent that Laban Omusundi has raised this matter through this petition, I support him, and one of the ways that we need to do, Madam Speaker, as a Senate, is to relook at the County Attorney's Office of the County Attorneys Act 2020, so that we can bring amendments to that act. It was good when it came at the beginning because it set up these offices. But we must now make it mandatory that they must follow the procurement processes for us to get the proper services, not just legal services, but all services. And Madam Speaker, we should go again and look at that act and say there should be agreements. It should be made compulsory within that act that all agreements for external services must be filed with the county attorney and must be approved by the executive and must even be approved by the county assembly, because it's the county assembly that is giving those monies out after we pass the equitable share and the other monies to the county. It is the county assemblies that approve. So, Mr. Speaker, I am sure if such a process was adopted, this lawyer who has charged 1.3 billion, there is no way that bill would have passed through the county assembly of Nairobi. And there is no way a county attorney would have sat down to sign an agreement that is committing the county of Nairobi for 1.3 billion. And as the court said, to be paid in 60 days. How is that going to happen, Madam Speaker? So, Madam Speaker, I think this is a good petition, and it has raised issues. And I think the way forward is for us to amend the County Attorneys Act 2020 so that we can deal with this matter, not just for legal fees, but for all services that are contracted outside from the capacities within the county. And that way, Madam Speaker, we shall help our 47 counties. And Madam Speaker, I beg to support. Thank you.
Thank you. Senator Osotsi.
Madam Speaker, I would like to support this motion that we must have a system of restraining the county government from hiring external law firms to represent them in courts. Madam Speaker, last 1 week we were taken through a report by the County Public Accounts Committee that indicated that we have a serious fiduciary risk in our counties on the matter of external law firms that have charged our counties exorbitant amount of money. Madam Speaker, this is a problem because 22 counties, excluding Nairobi County, they are supposed to pay a whopping 30.6 billion shillings to law firms. Nairobi alone, Madam Speaker, is supposed to pay 21.4 billion shillings. And this is just money that is supposed to be paid to law firms. And Madam Speaker, this money, if it was invested in infrastructure or any kind of development, it would do a lot more to the economies of our counties. So I want to support Mr. Laban Musundi on that, on the fact that this matter has to be handled in some way. But I want to disagree with the fact that we try and restrain counties seeking expert legal services outside their county attorney office. Madam Speaker, that would be against the Constitution, that would be against the Public Procurement and Disposal Act, which provides that there must be competitive procurement where counties, for some reason, want to engage in competitive procurement. But even as we say that, Madam Speaker, this is a case of open violation of the law. If there is any county that is engaged in an illegal activity of paying exorbitant amount of money to law firm, it should be handled on a case-by-case basis, Madam Speaker, because the law is there. We have the Office of the County Attorney Act that provides various provisions on how such a matter is handled. The Public Procurement and Disposal Act is very clear on the process of procurement of services, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the Advocates Remuneration Order is very clear on what needs to be charged. So if there is a particular law firm or a particular county that goes outside this framework, then the law should apply to that particular county or that particular law firm. But you cannot come and say that now, because some counties are involved in irregularity, and because those who are supposed to enforce the law are not enforcing the law, then you put a restraint on this. I think that will be unconstitutional, and that it will not be the right thing to do. What we need to do as a Senate is to ensure that officers which have a responsibility to guard against misuse of funds are doing their job. Madam Speaker, I'm surprised the Controller of Budget is also crying in this report, in her submission. This Controller of the Budget is the one who approves requisitions. How is she approving requisitions which are against the law, which are against the County Attorney Act, which are against the Advocacy Remuneration Order, which are against the Public Procurement and Disposal Act? So I think we will be over-legislating if we start now telling people that we want to amend the law to manage these things administratively. Madam Speaker, I am of the view that let those who process these payments follow the law. If it is the finance department in counties, let them follow the law. If it is the Controller of Budget who processes requisition, let them follow the law. That way we'll be able to deal with this problem. So whereas I support the fact that counties have high legal liabilities, which are not well managed, and something has to be done about it, I disagree that we restrain counties from accessing external legal services when they genuinely need them. That would be against the law, and Madam Speaker, for that purpose, I want to commend the committee, JLAC, and I want to disagree with my colleague, Senator Ladama, that they did a shoddy job. I have read the report, and they did a wonderful job. And if you look at the recommendation, they were balanced recommendations. They agreed on some issues raised by the petitioner, but they also gave direction on what needs to be done. Let the officers which are supposed to do their job, Madam Speaker, and let's not over-legislate on some of these things, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Senator Sosi. When we resume this motion again, you have a balance of 13 minutes.
Aye.
Honorable Senators, it is now 6:30 p.m., time to adjourn the Senate. The Senate therefore stands adjourned until tomorrow, Wednesday, 9th April 2025 at 9:30 a.m. Thank you.